and welcome to another episode of Annie Talks, where we bring to you interesting stories about interesting people that you want to know about. I'm your host, Annie Rivera. Thank you for tuning in, and to those who have already subscribed. If you're new to the podcast, welcome, and I hope you enjoy what you hear. And if so, I personally invite you to subscribe. Annie Talks is brought to you by Luxwear Trends, affordable, luxurious timepieces for every occasion, luxury that lasts forever, and that's what sets us apart from others. Find us on Facebook and Instagram or visit luxweartrends.com. That's Luxe weartrends.com. My guest on this episode is Sandy Chasteen, a holistic health coach that focuses on helping people discover the connection between their physical disease and the emotional components underlying the issue. Using essential oils and especially the Aromatouch Technique, the clinical application of 8 key essential oils and blends, Sandy helps people find natural solutions to their issues and create lifestyle plans for optimal healing. She is also an active connector, collaborating with other holistic practitioners while helping clients find additional healers to support them on their healing journey. You can find Sandy at sandychasteen.com and catch her on her Facebook Live shows, where she chats with a wide variety of holistic healers like herself, sharing concepts, tips, and tools to help you live your best life ever. Here now is my conversation with holistic health coach Sandy Chasteen. Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you've been here before, as always, thank you, and welcome back. I'm Annie with Annie Talks, and I am here with Sandy Chasteen, who is a holistic coach and essential oils expert. And I'm so excited to talk to her today. We're going to get to know Sandy today and what she does and how she helps the community and be healthy and be a better version of yourself. So stick around. So Sandy, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. And thank you for having me in your beautiful home. I really appreciate it. Talk about you. Talk about who Sandy is and why we need to pay attention to Sandy.
I love it. Well, I'm a holistic health coach. I love what I do. I help people to kind of carve a path for natural healing. I was a career military officer in the Air Force and then a pharmaceutical sales rep. So I sold high-powered antibiotics, pain meds, and overactive bladder meds. And now I get to help people get off of pharmaceuticals. So I love helping people find natural solutions to whatever it is they're dealing with. I use a variety of different modalities, some very light energy healing, essential oils is kind of my mainstay, but really just helping people understand that emotional core and how to get to the root of the issue so they understand why their body is doing what it's doing. So we reverse engineer everything to get back into balance.
How did you get into this? And I shouldn't say get into it as though it's, a trend or a club. I know it's a way of life. Mm-hmm. So talk about that way of life.
I always tell a story about my daughter. So I have 2 kids, 20 and 14. My daughter's 20. When she was 4 years old, I was in the pharmaceutical industry and I was washing her hair with one of our products. And she looked up at me and she said, "Mama, could we please not use this shampoo anymore? It really hurts my eyes." Oh, right? And I looked at her like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, all the chemicals in this shampoo, it hurts my eyes." And this is a 4-year-old, right? Yeah. And I was like, "Sure, whatever." And then she just looked at me and she said, she's like, "It was so much easier when I was the mom and you were the kid." Right? And I just looked at her, I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Right? And so she just started talking about our past lives in India and how it was much easier when she was the mom and I was the kid. And, she was in charge and I did what I was told. And I was just so confused. I had no idea what she was talking about. And I said, why would we do that? And, how does that fit in with now? And she said, "Well, we all, come to Earth together. And we're all in these groups and we're here to learn lessons. And so last time I was the mom and you were the kid and I taught you your lessons. And so this time you're the mom and I'm the kid and you're going to teach me my lessons. And we're all here to learn and grow. And I just looked at her and that was such a foreign concept for me. I had no idea what she was talking about. I was raised Christian, Episcopalian. We didn't talk about past lives. So that was my first kind of introduction to the whole holistic world. Mm-hmm. And so I just listened to my daughter for 6 or 8 months, and every time we'd get into the bath she would give me a new message. And so she went on to explain that in this lifetime, with me as the mother and her as the daughter, she was going to become a famous writer, and so it was my job to help cultivate those skills and behaviors. And I asked her what I was going to do, and she said, well, you're going to be a healer. And you're going to go on this big healing adventure and you're going to teach people how to get over fear and learn how to love. And that's going to be your job. And this was all new information. And I said, well, how will I do that? And she said, well, it's very simple. Energy comes through the top of your head and flows through your body. And it goes down your spine through the middle of your body. And it goes to the bottom. And then it flows back up. And everywhere that you're loving, so you're not afraid, that energy will flow through. Mm-hmm. But anytime you're afraid or you have sad thoughts, she said that energy literally gets stuck and then it goes sideways. And that's how we have disease. And she said, you're going to help people understand that their physical disease is really because they're afraid. And so you're going to help them get over the fear, learn how to love, and learn how to get that energy flowing so they can go live their lives.
And she was how old then?
4 years old.
4 years old. Out of the mouth of babes, right?
Yes, absolutely. So that's how I got my start. I didn't know anything about any of this world, certainly nothing about holistic healing. And that was my first indoctrination. So I was a drug rep, right? And so she's like, you need to quit your job and you need to learn these things. And this is your path. Go do it, Mama. And that's where she was so frustrated. She's like, what are you doing? You're going to go do these other things. You need to get on the stick, Mom. So she's my inspiration.
So now tell us how you came onto doTERRA.
doTERRA. So many years later, I became a holistic health coach. I ditched the pharmaceutical world and had another baby and lived a lot of life, did lots of different things. And I was teaching group programs. So I had a lot of private clients. And then I would teach a weekly group program. And what I would do is connect with other healers because I know what I know. But there's so much out there. And so every other week or so, I would invite another healer to come in and teach their modality. And so I had met a gal that worked exclusively with the essential oils. And so she said, hey, I can come and teach at part of your class. And I said, great, come on down. And when she taught my group program, everybody loved the essential oils. And so everybody wanted them. We teach a lot of kind of complex modalities in the healing arts. And the essential oils were super easy. Everybody liked them. It was very straightforward and they smelled great. So they loved them. And so after everybody in my group said, hey, how do we learn more about these? We want to do more. I said, oh, that's interesting. Okay, let me take a look at this.
So tell the concept of the essential oils, and Aromatouch. Tell us that for somebody like me who knows nothing. How would you tell me off the street? How is this going to help me?
Sure. So the Aromatouch Technique, you lay face down on a massage table, and it's not a massage. It's the clinical therapeutic application of essential oils. And what we're doing is we're applying 8 different oils and blends along your spine, all over your back, your head, especially on your neck, backs of your ears, and on the bottoms of your feet. And so with this combination of the 8 different oils, it's kind of like the first 2 are going to ground and relax the body and prepare it to receive the rest of the oils. The next 2 are going to boost your immune system. The next 2 are going to help create a healthy inflammatory response and kind of lower inflammation and pain. And then the last 2 are going to help your body create a higher level of homeostasis and just kind of seal everything in. So what that means to you is there's a wide spectrum of experience with this technique. You might just sleep really well that night and be very relaxed. You might get over a cold. You might take on a cold while I'm applying the oil. Sometimes the body is just so happy to be able to release. So sometimes it triggers release. Sometimes people have emotional release right on the table. They might start weeping. Some people have visions. Some people have grandma to come visit them. All sorts of different things happen. So what we need to understand is it's the chemistry of the essential oils, and they're very potent, very pure, but it's that in combination with human touch. So we're very powerful beings. And so we're basically flowing our own energy and mixing it in with the chemistry of the essential oils. And that's where you get the powerful healing.
Okay.
And the power of intention. And, you know, there's lots of things that go into this very relaxing experience. So, yeah.
So what, from my knowledge as well, so what do most people come to you in search of? What type of healing are there different types of, you talked about modalities, but are there different types of, or is there any one type of healing that they're looking for, or are they thinking, or is it more physical? Is it more emotional? Is it more, I mean, I'm just kind of would like to understand that.
Yeah, sure. So people come to me from all different walks of life and all areas of the spectrum. I would say most people come to me, they want to learn more about the holistic healing arts, but they don't know where to start.
Right.
So this is a nice, easy entry point for holistic healing. The essential oils are pretty popular right now. They're nothing new. They've been around since the beginning of time. But every issue that we have as a human being, there's a plant that can help bring us back into balance. So what I teach is, you know, we're spiritual beings in a physical plane, and we're having this human experience. And again, that emotional core. So understanding what the root is for the issue, and then what we can use oils or, you know, lots of other modalities, but to help create a connection between the emotional root and what's going on physically, so they understand why their elbow hurts, why they're breaking out in a rash, why their vision is impaired. And once we can make that connection, then they can move forward, right? And then there's only, you know, there's lots of things I can do, but I often refer people out to other people in my healing community to take them further down the road. So I'm kind of like a referral agent. It's kind of like a triage. Right. So they come to me, I do a little intake, help them navigate through what their core issues are, and what the, you know, the spectrum of symptoms that they're experiencing, and then chart a course to keep moving forward.
You talk about a team. Talk about your team, and what does the makeup of a team look like?
When you say team, I think of several different facets. So in doTERRA world, I have a team of about 870 people, right? Goodness, and I have a lot of healers and just a lot of what we would call users, people that just want to use the oils for themselves, and they just want to learn how to do it. So for those people, we focus on education, safety, a lot of safety, and just, you know, how to use the oils in a practical way. In terms of a healing team, I am very connected in the holistic community, especially here in Orange County. So I do have a whole team that I refer people to. So maybe somebody I'm working with would benefit from massage therapy. So I have, you know, 3 or 4 massage therapists that I could refer out to. Maybe they could use some energy healing. Maybe they, you know, some Reiki or something like that. Maybe they want to explore their past lives, so that I could send them to a hypnotherapist or somebody that practices NLP. So I have a wide variety of healers at my disposal. Maybe they need to work on nutrition. I have lots of people that can work on that too. So I used to teach, you know, a standard 6-month program. Now I just kind of get people started, and I slingshot them out to other places. And so doTERRA kind of pays me, and then I can have fun and not worry about, you know, paying me $150 for a session. They can come to me for a consultation, and then I can help them choose a path that fits for them. Some people want the oil, some don't. You know, some people want to go this way, some, you know, so everybody's different, but I help them chart a course.
Got it.
For moving forward.
I hope you're enjoying this podcast episode. We'll be right back after this short message from one of our sponsors. Comfotherm Thermal Wraps are designed to help relieve the pain and swelling in and around the jaw, especially after wisdom teeth extractions. For more information, visit comfotherm.com. That's comfotherm.com. So talk about, so how do we find you? So you have a website.
I do. SandyChasteen.com. Very cryptic.
And she's also has, is it daily? Do you have a daily Facebook Live or?
I was doing them every day, but they started stockpiling on my website. So now I just do them on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I do an oils specific program on Tuesdays. So this morning we did one on allergies. And really what I showed them was it doesn't matter what the topic is or what the ailment is, but a basic protocol for learning and understanding, how to move forward. The end goal is to get me out of the picture, so people are empowered to do it themselves. And then on Fridays, I will be highlighting different members of my team, of my healing community, so they can learn about different modalities. And I'm learning as well. So, I interview people just like this, and I'm learning about what they're doing. So I'm constantly learning. And then people that are watching, they're like, ooh, I want to try that, or, ooh, I don't want to try that. Everybody's a little different. So I'm just going to do 2 a week for now.
So say your website again and your Facebook page again.
So sandychasteen.com. So Sandy, S-A-N-D-Y, Chasteen, C-H-A-S-T-E-E-N.com. And what else did you ask me? Facebook, Sandy Funk Chasteen. Funk is my maiden name. I think I'm the only one there. It should be easy to find. And I also have a users Facebook group for my oils team. And lots of people are on there. You'll get oils education, but then other healers will post like different workshops and stuff that they're hosting. So it's not just oils, and everybody's welcome to jump on there. Everybody's welcome. One thing I'm probably known most for are the networking events that I host. I'm an active member of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, but I kind of created 2 branch off events here in Orange County. One is called Lunch Bunch. And it kind of started, I'm a morning person, so going to evening events, it's like, oh. So I was always inviting people to lunch. And so we would just meet around the corner from my condo. And, it might be just me and one other person or 2 or 3 people. And we just wanted to learn what the other person did so we could refer to each other. Well, it grew and grew and grew over the years. Now I have usually about 30 people that show up to our lunch bunch. And we meet once a month. And we rotate to different wellness centers and different places around Orange County. So we have one this week at the Healing Key in Long Beach. Next month we'll be in Laguna Niguel. Who knows where we'll be the following month. So we rotate around. And what's nice is we get to peek into a lot of these different wellness centers that we may not otherwise even know about. And what we do is we meet for lunch. And I facilitate, and we simply go around the room, and everybody gets about 2 minutes to describe what they do. Now, you can go to a holistic health fair and walk through all the different booths and chit-chat with people. But it's different when you can get a 2-minute snapshot of what somebody does, because you might walk by 3 or 4 healers. You have no idea what they do. You didn't, stop for whatever reason. But there's something about listening to somebody for a good 1.5 to 2 minutes. You can really gauge what they're doing, what their energy is, what their values are, and whether you want to work with them. And so with Lunch Bunch, I love that. Like, you can really just kind of read everybody. And what I love is that people are drawn to each other and they'll start to collaborate. So I love seeing the natural coalescence of different groups. And so we all refer to each other, and it's like a big love fest. It's not easy to be a holistic healer. It's kind of new territory for people. And so when we have this community, it just makes it a lot easier. We can all support each other and kind of cheer each other on. So I love Lunch Bunch. And then I have another event called Vendor Blender, and it is in the evenings. I'll have another spot so I can make it. But we do the same thing. We go around, and you've been to one, so you've seen. And what we do is I bring any extra product that I have from my doTERRA overstock. So I'll bring a selection of oils, and then everybody that shows up, they can bring a gift certificate for their product or service, and they can put it on the table. And so say yours was $100, so you would put that down. And so you can choose from the collection of oils that I brought or what other people brought. So it's a really fun way to sample other people's services, and people just have a blast. So I had to create events that were fun, that I wanted to go to. We've all been to really boring networking groups. Oh my God. I just want to poke my eyes out. So I wanted to do something that was really fun and enabled me to have the opportunity to experience all these different modalities so I could refer people to them with more clarity. You really have to experience somebody before you feel comfortably referring somebody. So that's just what I do. It helps me move a lot of product. And then I go home with lots of gift certificates, and other people do too. So it's just fun. And I think a lot of holistic healers, we have time, or we have resource, but sometimes we don't have the extra money to do all the beautiful modalities we want to try. So that's my contribution to the community, is setting up these vendor blenders, and they're a lot of fun.
And then you have those how often?
Once a quarter.
Mm-hmm. And you have that on your website as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect.
So if you click on my website, you'll see an events bar. I think there's a butterfly on it. Just click on it, and then it'll open up the calendar. And you can sign up for, it's not really a newsletter. It's just a weekly update, and it's just a listing of all the different events. So you'll see essential oils classes for my users, and then you'll see other workshops and events that I'm personally attending. So if you want to see something that I'm doing, then I'll have them all on the calendar. And other team members will put their classes on too. So it's fun. So you can sign up for that, and then I think it's Tuesday at 8 a.m., you'll get an automatic email, and all it is a list of the upcoming events, so you can stay in the loop. People don't want to miss Lunch Bunch. It's a lot of fun. So I think people should come see me to sit down and do a wellness consultation. And so we can see where you are and where you want to go, and I can help chart out a course for you to move forward. And if you want to work with me, that's great. If you want to go a different path, I can probably recommend some healers that would be in alignment for you. And I love that. I love connecting people with, positive action steps. So it's very empowering.
See, she's very energetic, and this is the kind of positivity that we all need in our lives, and we need someone like Sandy to kind of help, as she says, chart our course for us, because, you can't go through it alone. One thing we want to always be sensitive about is to make sure that what you're experiencing and going through, and emotional or physical, what do I want to say? Emotional or physical barriers or obstacles. You don't have to go through it alone. You have someone like Sandy.
I'm like a tour guide.
Yeah, I love that. So check her out at sandychasteen.com.
Yep.
And her Facebook page, Sandy Funk Chasteen. Yes?
That's me.
That's her. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And you're welcome to jump on my team page, Sharing Essential Health.
Well, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Annie Talks and learning about and from holistic health coach Sandy Chasteen and her tips and tools to help you live your best life ever. I also wanted to share a very special personal story that happened immediately following my talk with Sandy. We were chit-chatting, and one conversation led to another, and somehow we ended on the subject of my own back and muscle ailment. This is what I was experiencing that day. I pointed to my upper back and told Sandy my symptoms, and within minutes she went to her library on her desk and pulls out this book, a manual of sorts, and opens up to this page that basically described me to a T. It was an emotional breakthrough for me in that it pinpointed some deeper underlying issues. And Sandy mentions this throughout the interview, and it really wasn't until that very moment that I realized just precisely what she does. She rubbed this amazing oil on my back, upper right shoulder blade, on the affected area. She told me I would start to feel it working in a few minutes, and let me tell you, within minutes, I was feeling this amazing sensation. A tingling, warm, cool sensation, and the thing that got me was it had this amazing scent, hence the Aromatouch she spoke very highly about. My drive home was relaxing, and the rest of that evening was so relaxing. It was quite therapeutic. I only wish that I had my other shoulder done at the same time. The point is, the Aromatouch works. The essential oils works. I highly recommend it. So be sure to check out Sandy's website at sandychasteen.com and her Facebook page, Sandy Funk Chasteen. I will have all that information in the show notes below. Now, before we sign off, if you aren't already subscribed to my podcast, I invite you to hit subscribe and be notified anytime we upload a new episode. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much, and I truly appreciate it. If you could all please rate and review my podcast, please leave a comment or two. It would really help me out, and it would also help others to find this podcast. And lastly, if you like this podcast, please consider contributing to my Patreon page. Your contribution will help to further the vision and mission of Annie Talks so that we could produce more episodes like this one and many other types of episodes and topics. The Patreon page will also be included in show notes below. Thank you all again so much for tuning in, and keep listening to Annie Talks.